Hi everyone. Please let me know as always if you can hear me. I'm a few seconds late because they changed some features on here and I'm trying to figure out how to turn one of them off, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to. So I might just have to live with it and I don't like it. No, it's weird. Yeah, the option's not there anymore for me to turn it off, but that's okay. We're going to power on through and take a look at some of the upcoming solicitations because if it wasn't today, then at this time it would have had to be like midnight or something. So, hello everyone. How's everybody doing? It's really throwing me off. Okay, so what it is like you have the option on StreamYard, and I don't normally have it turned on to filter your face. And it's on right now, and I don't like it. It's weird. I want it off, but I can't see the option. They did an update in the back end, which they do sometimes, and some of the other things look nice, but some things are missing. So, how is everybody? What are you reading? What are you up to? I'm so glad for those of you who could join me for this. And of course, we're going to have to check and see if Post Malone's Big Rig is still with us as our ad. I'm sure it is. So it will never leave us. I also have a couple of other things just kind of quickly showcase. I am editing a bunch of things that most people did not ask for, and one that people did. So it's going to be interesting. Let me pull up what I have with me. Ooh. So one of these things I did a short on, so I know not everybody watches the shorts, which was this. It's one of the Bad Idea comics, which though name your company Bad Idea, always a choice. But they've been around for a little bit at this point, and they've been ramping up the comic outings this year. Everybody makes fun of how I say cul-de-sac, even though I speak French, but you know, that's just how it happens. I know it means dead end. So, but inside, check it out. It's really pretty in a really like grotesque, vampire-y, killy kind of way. There's just, check it out. And it's flipping in between being black and white and having the color, which is really cool. I just think this is a really gorgeous book. I saw the preview for it at the back of Planet Death, which I also picked up. These are difficult to get digitally at the moment. When Bad Idea started, they were doing a purely physical release kind of thing and a no variant kind of thing. They quickly dropped the no variant thing. There are variants now. And also they're starting to branch into being digital because I saw the Planet Death on, I think it's pronounced Vivi, is where you could get it. But yes, there we go. This was the page. I showed this page on the short as well. But this one, the cliff notes, since we're here, yeah, check out the back, is that there are these vampire hunters. They are trying to take out this big nest of apex vampires called necrotile. And at the same time, those vampires who have been living out their lives, they can breed. And so it's the summer that they're going to reveal to their children that they have the option once they first feed to enter into this new type of life. And on this evening, at the crux of everything is when the hunters strike. And then it becomes a kind of these kids being hunted down and trying to adjust to this new reality that they've just entered into. So yes, there's that. I also chem dogs like vampires. Bah. So was this. This is something I'm going to cover. Titan was kind enough to send it my way, and I want to talk about this really nice illustrated version of the Tower of the Elephant because it's going to be a good opportunity to also talk about the other comic adaptations. Because so far, time of recording, there are 3. 2 by Roy Thomas and then 1 by Kurt Busiek, the Dark Horse one. Yes, because Roy Thomas did it for Conan, then Savage Sword of Conan, and then there's the Dark Horse one, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly. But this one is a big illustrated version of the original story. So let me find a nice, can I get a nice picture for all of you? I mean, they're all nice, but let me show you some of it. Check it out. Look at the illustrations. Aren't they nice? It's by Valentin Chachet. And where's another one that I really like? I mean, you guys show Yeg Kosha if we're doing this. really big and lots of illustrations. Oh, the spider is nice too. Like, check that out. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And of course, the Tower of the Elephant is a really, really solid Conan story. There we go. Of course. It's really nice. The one thing I will say is that it is also huge. So if you're a person who is like, where am I putting this? You might need to consider that because it is indeed quite tall, but you're getting a lot of detail in the illustration because of that. So this has been fun. Going through it has been fun. My eldest really enjoyed it, so that was also a lot of fun. It's always good because there is a higher level of vocabulary and prose in these older works, which I appreciate. It's good to be exposed to more words. I heard a really disturbing, sad fact, which is that one of the ways that AI detectors look for AI writing is having a big vocabulary, and that just made me incredibly sad. That made me really, really sad to hear that. Some people just have good vocabularies. But we are here to look at a bunch of solicits. Yes, I can't get over the fact that the filter is auto on. I hate it. Let people see flaws on skin. It's important. It's really important. Hopefully by next time that feature will be back. I'm legit like looking at it. Please. No, it's gone. It's gone forever, at least for this stream. So, pulling it up, sharing, because sharing is caring. Share the screen. I already see we got the big rig. And there we go. And how do I want it? No, not like that. Not like that. See, it's the middle of the day. I'm strangely more able to operate the computer at night. So what we're looking at is we're at November now because the solicit's always several months ahead. So we're past spooky month, which did not have a lot of spooky things, to be honest. And they had the pumpkin spice variants, which there were a couple missing, but they weren't upping the spice level all that much. And what else do we have here? Oh, yes, because last month was when Marvel unveiled its kind of crossover stuff. And now November, we're going to get the flip side for the DC side of the DC Marvel crossover things that they are doing. So they did have Satanic Panic. That is true. Well, they did. All right. So past the big rig down to we have Batman / Deadpool #1. And so many variants. Oh yes, Barry, that this is a Saga shirt. I am the right place for it to be recognized because when I do wear this out nowadays, if you want to feel incredibly dated, which it always does to me, the kids think that this is a Skibbity toilet shirt when they see it. Not my kids, other kids, because the Skibbity stuff is everywhere in the stores with the toys. It's absolutely huge. So there are a bunch. Some of them are for the actual short stories inside, and some of them are just combinations that are out there. I do like this Punisher Dragata one with Batman in the back. Looking like he's fighting absolute Batman. Look out. I see some people are saying that they're hyped for it. Like, where are you with this? Are you excited for it? Are you kind of meh on it? Yes, there's Lobo down there. Lobo with Deadpool is a fun concept, actually. That's a nice variant one. Okay. And these are even more. So many. I do like this one because it's very macabre. Like everybody cheering at dead Deadpool. That's mean. Is that how you would feel if Deadpool died? Is this also your reaction? All right. So this is DC / Marvel, Batman / Deadpool by so many people. So who do we have? We have Grant Morrison, Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Joshua Williamson, Tom Taylor, Mariko Tamaki, and G. Willow Wilson, who gets to write Miss Marvel again. Huzzah. We have art by Dan Mora, Hayden Sherman, Bruno Redondo, Amanda Connor, and Denise Cohen. All right, so we have The Dark Knight and the Merc with a Mouth team up for an adventure so mind-bending, you'll think you're in a dream. Why am I wearing my headphones? I'm not listening to anything. Brought to you by legendary creators Grant Morrison and Dan Mora, and be sure not to miss these incredible extra stories. So we have Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson team up with Hayden Sherman for a magical Constantine / Doctor Strange tale. That's a lot of people on one thing. Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo bring you an epic Nightwing, Dick Grayson, and Laura Kinney Wolverine story. I like that because you have to specify that it's Laura Kinney Wolverine, you have to specify Nightwing as Dick Grayson, so it doesn't make it look kind of odd like that. Mariko Tamaki and Amanda Connor smash Harley Quinn and Hulk together, and G. Willow Wilson and Denise Cohen tell an electrifying Static and Miss Marvel yarn. So that's what you're getting inside of that. I posted this in the community tab about these combinations, and they actually kind of went down in interest based in order, except for the Harley Quinn and Hulk one, which ended up being at the bottom, at least in that poll. We have the D.C. K.O, which is the big Let Them Fight event that they're doing, and it's going to have a bunch of tie-ins. If you go to League of Comic Geeks, by the way, they actually organize all of the issues together, which is nice and useful if you're someone who needs to know what's going where, or if you're trying to collect all of them. So that is a very useful feature, which I like. A DC Comics event, just in case you were curious. I did use two of the fighting thumbs to the fighting images for my thumb. See, I'm all over the place in the middle of the day. So what do we have here? This is D.C. K.O number 2, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover by Javi Fernandez. Many variants, so many. Written 40 pages of Let Them Fight. The tournament is in full swing. Heroes have fallen. Darkseid is near. The 32 champions have been chosen, and now they must compete to earn the heart of Apocalypse. Not darkness, but they're playing with that. Your mind jumps there. The first challenge, battling across a deadly arena to acquire new weapons of war. The greatest powers of the DC universe are up for grabs, and whoever holds them will advance to the next level. Superman has his doubts that the Justice League is doing the right thing, but there are others who have no problem killing to get what they want. So where are we with this in terms of it being an event? Is this something that you are excited for? Or do you wish it was some kind of other kind of team up? It depends how it plays out. Sometimes Let Them Fight is just what you're in the mood for. Rashid, I like that. Rashid is saying only 32, not 52 champions. I know, the cowards. 52 is DC's number of choice. So that's going to be a bigger one. That's going to have a bunch of stuff going on, and I'll be there for it. I'm not even going to pretend I'm not going to be there for that. All right. This is just a nice cover. That's cool. Oh, yes. Batman gets his own, right? I recall Batman gets his own, the actual tie-in to this, because of course he does. So we have D.C. K.O Nightfall number 1, written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Dan Mora. Experience Batman's epic journey during the explosive D.C. K.O event. The Dark Knight is forced to take a different path in the tournament for the heart of Apocalypse. One that, see, your mind wants to say darkness. One that has turned Gotham into a deadly arena where Batman must battle against the Batmen of the future. Who are these Batmen? Stay tuned and find out. Get ready for the greatest don't lie. Get ready for the greatest fight of Batman's life in this over-the-top crossover miniseries. Don't pretend that this is going to be the greatest fight of Batman's life. Who's ready for him to fight all of his variants? Hunter is saying night fight. Which of his variants do you think you would like to see him fight and take on? Oh, this is Kari. Superman also fighting. His cape looks massive in this. Ooh, I like this one. This Dark Legion one. Looking very evil in the Darkseid Legion in this one. That's cool. Okay. Superman number 32, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira. Lex Luthor is back. Yes, he is. But how did he get into the deadly tournament? Can Superman and Lex work together to learn about the heart of Apocalypse and how to stop it? And who protects Metropolis as it transforms into a raging fire pit? I like how they just brought Lex back and they're like, they need to team up already. Very quick. Does Darkseid just give good makeup? Brady is asking. It's, required when you go to the dark side. One of the perks is not only cookies, but also nice makeup. Otherwise, why would anyone go? So Mr. Micromaster is saying, I think they said he's going to be fighting his Robins who have become Batman. Why does that sound familiar to me? Like we've seen something like that. Either way, let them fight. Batman Beyond doing things. Also, classic Power Girl. This is Justice League Unlimited number 13, written by Mark Waid, art and cover by Dan Mora. The Earth opens up to swallow the JLU. Parademons swarm the Watchtower. The Time Trapper lies near dead at Metamorpho's feet. Any one of these things is catastrophic, but all three simultaneously? Can Armageddon be far behind? Yes, Superman Blue. They're doing stuff. Also, they remembered that John has electric powers, and that was a thing that mattered in the Secret Six series. So it was nice to see that. It was nice to see that they actually did something with that power set. Yes, Kingdom Come, Alan Scott, Earth 22 or Dash 22. This is The Flash and more of the evil Darkseid Legion. The Flash has a new creative team at this point, I believe, if I recall correctly. I think I do. Yes. The Flash number 27, written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell. Art by Vasco Georgiev. After Impulse's shocking decision, the Flash races through the time stream. The Flash in time. Before Impulse's irrational actions can potentially doom the DC universe. But someone is just a step behind the speedsters, while the Flash and Impulse run right into a shocking reunion. Yeah, Kofi is saying no naps for Dan Moore. Yeah, I liked California was actually pretty fun of a story too. It had some really solid issues inside of the California special, like Cal-El. Titans. Titans with swords. Titans number 29, written by John Layman, art and cover by Pete Woods. The towers have lifted and Earth's evacuation is complete. As the Titans take to the stars to save humanity from the ongoing apocalypse, trouble can't help but follow them. Our heroes are scattered across the galaxy and across dimensions, each discovering that new worlds mean new dangers, something Starfire knows all too well as she ends up cornered by an apocalyptian blockade. Yes, Justin, Mark Waid is doing the Flash again. This is absolute Batman, of course, because everything's huge. I do like the croc they've got for it. Look at how like everything's wrapped around like that. Yeah, I don't love that either. I don't love that either. Yeah, Kofi is saying, I'm not liking that YouTube got rid of the names in the chat. I don't either. There's so many changes happening today on platforms, just in general, that I'm not a fan of. Giant Batmobile. This one looks like he's posing for a metal album cover. I'm kind of into it. Absolute Batman number 14, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover by Nick Dragotta. Batman and Catwoman face down Bane in a final battle, but she doesn't get to be on the cover. But once the dust settles, what will all mean for the future of Batman? Ooh. Absolute Superman, who we are going to be getting a video on very soon in a capacity. That's how I'm easing back in to talking about the Absolute stuff again. Absolute Superman number 13, written by Jason Aaron, art and cover by Rafa Sandoval. The Battle of Kansas has begun as the tanks of Lazarus Court come rolling down the streets of Smallville. Haunted and weakened from the horrors he suffered at the hands of Brainiac and Ra's al Ghul, Superman wages a last desperate fight for everything and everyone he has come to hold dear. Let me catch up with all of you. Yeah, Absolute Croc. Absolute Wonder Woman. We have many a variant. Absolute Wonder Woman number 14, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Matthias Bergara. To save the world from an all-new supernatural threat that Diana is uniquely unqualified to solve, she will have to reach back to the oldest and deepest of gods for their assistance. But they may not agree with her position. In the midst of this struggle, a new player makes their presence known. But are they friend or foe? Concluding a two-part guest arc with guest artist. Then we have Absolute Flash. This cover looks like everybody's waving. Oh, I like this one. This one's really intense. Absolute Flash number 9, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Nick Robles. I love how short this is. Succinct. Absolute Flash raids Fort Fox as he tries to get to the bottom of the secrets within. Perfect. Take notes, all the other solicits. It got straight to the point. We have Absolute Green Lantern. Oh, she finally took the ring off after she was told to. Absolute Green Lantern number 8, written by Al Ewing, art and cover by Janoy Lindsay. Who is Joe Mullen? That's a question some people were asking when they saw this because they don't read all of the Green Lanterns. She's relatively new. The wielder of the green power reveals her deepest secrets as her ex-wife decides whether to help her or turn her in. We have not heard anything good about the ex-wife so far in this story. Not that we've heard a lot, but what little we have heard is not great. This one I've been really enjoying. I posted about it, and some people were saying this is the one the internet has decided consensus-wise is the worst. And I was like, has it? Am I in the wrong corners of the internet again? I will say it is the one where it does benefit a lot from having prior Green Lantern knowledge because it's playing so much with it. That's probably what I like about it, but I can also see it being really off-putting. That and it has a very glacial pace. I'm not gonna pretend that it's not incredibly decompressed because it is. But then there's, here's Hector, here's Obsidian, here's all these things. I'm very intrigued by the way it's playing with stuff. For me, it works, but I can see why it doesn't work for everybody. I just like this cover a lot. Is this the Riddler on the moon? Moonler? That's a different one. This is Batman number 3, written by Matt Fraction, art and cover by Jorge Jimenez. Vandal Savage makes his move against Batman and Robin. Bruce Wayne tries to make amends, and the Riddler makes his play for arguably the most important item in all of Gotham. Fraction and Jimenez take things to a whole new level as their thrilling new run on Batman continues. That is starting soon. We are very close. Kofi, thank you very much. Just saying, do you want Pattinson as DCU Batman or someone new? Well, they've already said that he's not going to be the DCU version because they're going to go with a different direction, but they're still going to make Batman 2, allegedly. I would like it to be something new. I'm down for new takes, and the Batman is not my favorite Batman outing, so I'm definitely fine with it being a different person. Fuma, thank you very much. Hey, Sasha, any DC Compact Rex? They've been releasing a bunch. They actually did a blitz of new ones that they're coming out with. They'll probably be at the bottom of this. So when we get there, I'll highlight the ones that I really like. But I do like that they've done a lot of the important ones like New Frontier, Hush. I think Hush is important. I know that some people don't, but I do. Nightwing? Yes. I like that his symbol looks like wings here. That's nice. Nightwing, number 132, written by Dan Waters. Nightwing takes a page. Oh, and art and cover by Dexter, so I got too excited to get to the synopsis. Nightwing takes a page from Batman's playbook and storms Spheric Solutions, right, to end his conflict with Olivia Pierce once and for all. Unbeknownst to Nightwing, she's been planning for his arrival, and the battle quickly turns explosive, public, and personal. Can Bloodhaven's hero survive when his own city turns against him? Dragonberry Mead is saying, no Nightwing bum cover, not interested. Wait till the next month. There's still time. This is Batgirl. Oh, that's really nice. Batgirl number 13, written by Tate Bromble with art by Takeshi Miyazawa. Tate Bromble's writing a upcoming zombie thing, a cowboy zombie thing for Image that I'm interested in. I got the email from Tiny Onion, who if you go to their YouTube page, they have an intro video that's like you're being hypnotized by the Hypnotoad. So here we have, after a long snowy trek through the Himalayas, Batgirl and her crew arrive at a hidden refuge deep within the mountains. But there's no time to let their guard down as the unburied threat returns seeking blood, and Nissa Al Ghul attempts to get Batgirl to join her cause against them. Dark secrets threaten to pull Batgirl into a war she never wanted and force her to confront ghosts from her past and present. Has Nissa truly turned over a new leaf, and will Cass align herself with old enemies to exact justice against the unburied for the murder of Lady Shiva? Spoilers. That's why you gotta be prepared for that if you come into these, because these are technically written for the comic book stories, but they're also fun to read as a fan if you don't mind spoilers, which I don't. So, oh, this is the Jason Todd one. Yes. She's looking possessed with the glowing eyes in this one. All right. Upside down kiss for Jason Todd and the Huntress. Red Hood number 3, written by Gretchen Felker Martin and art by Jeff Spokes. It's time for some rest and interrogation. What better place to do it than a quiet little cabin in the woods where no one can hear you scream? You could twist that to something else. Unfortunately for Red Hood, he's not going to like what he finds. No matter how much digging Jason and Helena do, the tower's trail twists more and more. Soon their whole world is going to turn upside down. Plus, a new metahuman enemy enters the fray, and they've got their sights set on our 2 vigilante outlaws. Were they? Were people melting down over the upside down kiss cover? Could they not handle the ship? I am rarely on social media these days. It's only if I'm looking for quotes, and even then, it's not great. It doesn't leave you feeling the best, I find, in the best headspace. Catwoman. We have many a variant for Catwoman, number 81, written by Torrin Groenbeck with art by Danilo Beirut and Patricio Del Peche. Maria Kyle's death had unforeseen consequences that reach all the way into Selena Kyle's present. Speaking of which, things are getting pretty hot in Venice, but Catwoman's eyes are set on Carmine Falcone's prize, and she won't be leaving the party without it, even if she needs to kill him to get her way. Down here, we've got Birds of Prey, Ink. A second Ink cover. It's an exciting time to care about Ink, which I do. Oh, more than one. Oh my goodness. More than I ever expected. I love Ink. I really should do a video on her. She's awesome. Birds of Prey number 27, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Sammy Barzi. The Shadow Army's plan to turn virtual violence into real-world bloodshed is closer to coming true than anyone realizes, and the line between game and reality shatters as the birds enter the unreality, armed with the ultimate disguises and with the wildly unpredictable Ink now on their side. Can the Birds of Prey stop the ultimate game over before it's too late? Bride Baker is saying definitely do an Ink video. Oh, that'd be... I vividly remember all of the Ink episodes so much. It made such an impression on me as a youngster. Poison Ivy. Just keeping on. The little juggernaut. Oof. My goodness. Oh, she's very muscular in this one. This Poison Ivy works out. Poison Ivy number 38, written by G. Willow Wilson, art by Marcio Takara. See, same team all the way. We're 38 issues in at this point. Ivy's had enough of Janet's lies. She's dragging the mewling near-dead Janet from HR into the woods and giving her what she deserves once and for all. If there's anything left for either of them to say to each other, now would be the time. Harley Quinn. So now we're going to be looking at written in Harley Quinn's voice again, I assume. Why is this cover's making me feel like viscerally uncomfortable? I'm not sure why. And it's the way that something about the pizza is coming out. This one's cute. Harley Quinn number 56, written by Elliot Kalan, art by Carlos Oliveras. Don't shoot me, bro. That's a don't tase me, bro reference. Don't shoot me, bro. Seriously, if someone tranks, tases, there it is, or shoots me one more time, I'm quitting this whole main character in her own comic series thing. My mandatory road trip with the gun buddies comes to an end in a jungle where we're hunted for sport by a rich jerkwad, plus the return of one of my greatest enemies and the birth of an unexpected ally. This is the Erica Schultz one, right? Yeah, Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes number 1. Yep, written by, not Erica Schultz, Erica Henderson. Written by Erica Henderson, art by Erica Henderson. Erica Schultz is doing a bunch of stuff over at Marvel. Because you demanded it. You all demanded it, okay? It said so. Because you demanded it. A new series entirely about Harley and Ivy's relationship. Witness the entire story of the DCU's #1 criminal couple from the very start. They're also now being claimed as the #1 criminal couple. Eisner Award-winning artist and writer Erica Henderson weaves the canonical story of how Ivy and Harley went from enemies to friends to lovers. So now if you try and argue with it, they're going to be like, bam, this one. See their first kiss, their first embrace. Also, that never works because people will always stick to the canons they like. Their first fight, the first time Harley went to the bathroom with the door open in front of Ivy. That one is a joke. Jeez, etc. You're going to love the way this book makes you look. We guarantee it. That you're going to love the way this book makes you look. We guarantee it. Fascinating. Coffney is saying Alvin demanded it. Alvin isn't even here to demand things today. It's the middle of the day. It's his nap time. Coffney is saying, I like Harley and Ivy, but I want good Harley and Ivy. Dragonberry Meat is saying, wear it as a hat. Attach it, pin it, turn it into a coat. There are things that we can do. Hey, this is Guillaume March. Yes, it is. Identifying Guillaume March on site. Okay, so we have here. Ooh, I really like that one. Batman and Robin number 27, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Fico Ossio. As Batman's newest enemy continues to cut a bloody path through Gotham's underground, the dynamic duo works to uncover his motives. What is his connection to some of the city's fiercest villains? What brought him back to hunt them down? And who will be caught in the crossfire? Find out here. Oh, Carlington is asking, when you mean good, do you mean quality book or not evil? I would assume that Cockney means like quality, not necessarily that they have to be heroes in it. This is a nice cover. I really like this one a lot. Look at our TAS like Batman over there. And once again, it's Dan Mora. Because we are at World's Finest. Yep, Batman / Superman World's Finest number 45, written by Mark Waid, art by Adrian Gutierrez. Lex Luthor and the Joker have joined forces once again, but this uneasy alliance hinges on a crucial outcome. The final defeat of both Batman and Superman. Isn't that what they're normally aiming for? Why else would the most brilliant criminal mind of our time and the clown prince of crime team up? Well, the answer will surprise you and them. Betrayal abounds, terror intensifies, and a major surprise is in store for the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel in part 1 of The Merger. This is nice. Is this Dark Patterns? Yes, it is. Batman Dark Patterns number 12, written by Dan Waters, art and cover by Hayden Sherman. Batman Dark Patterns reaches its fiery conclusion, and I am sad because I would like it to keep going. Can the Dark Knight detective quell the hungry flames threatening to erase Gotham before the city is no more, or will the Child of Fire's inferno devour it all? This has been fun. If a lot of people jumped on board this and it got to keep going a la Legends of the Dark Knight, I would not be sad. But as for what it's been a really good time. Just these kind of short, bite-sized, really grim kind of cases for Batman. It's worth checking out if people haven't already. Lois and Batman hanging out, doing things. Superman's like, whatever. Oof, look at that one. That's nice. The Stalked by Killer Croc one. Detective Comics number 1103, written by Tom Taylor, anchored by Mikhail Janin. Gotham's newest villain, the Lion, has lain in wait, much like his name. You didn't need to put that. We know. We made the connection. Choosing now to strike the Dark Knight. Meanwhile, the infection coursing through Batman's veins continues to work its way into his central nervous system, doesn't it always, leaving him vulnerable on two fronts. Poisoned and alone, Batman has run out of places to look for help, but maybe all he needed to do was look up. The Courage That Kills continues in this can't-miss issue, guest starring Superman. Oh, that's good to hear that Dan Waters wants to do more. I still want Dan Waters to be able to finish that. Oh my gosh. Dorian Gray thing that he was doing. I completely blanked. This is Action Comics, which also, for those who have not been reading, decided that it was going to bring back Captain Comet again. A bunch of the characters that have been mentioned in the new history of the DC universe, it's in front of me, that's why I'm pointing, have started to kind of come into play a little bit. I also went on to like a kind of meta deep dive as to why they may have positioned Dr. Occult the way that they did. I think it's because of the comic that he debuts in partially, and also his creative team. But that's a video for another time. Captain Comet, who also features pretty significantly in the Golden Age, which is also here. My desk is just a mass of comics from things that I am scripting and working on. So, Action Comics tonight too, written by Mark Waid, art by Sian Torme. For the first time since his unexpected debut, Clark returns to the City of Tomorrow obsessed with the future and his place in it, particularly since Captain Comet has deliberately set a mighty obstacle in front of him that he and his family have no idea how to overcome. He needs to earn the trust of the people of Metropolis, and fast. Kofi is saying, I want Captain Carrot. Maybe later. Maybe they'll get to that in a bit. Wonder Woman. Still fighting Mouse Man, it looks like. We have Wonder Woman number 27, written by Tom King, art and cover by Daniel Sampere. After the shocking events of last issue, Wonder Woman leads the cats into war against the horror that is Mouse Man's army. But will the unsanctioned rebellion cost Diana her soul and her daughter's life? We'll find out. Is that Trinity? Okay, so the Trinity issue where like young Trinity has a crush on Jason Todd is a time. That's not the most recent one. It's the most recent one that I read, though. So many jokes about him dying to his face. It's really, the humor in these is really, really dark, which is fascinating to me. That's a nice cover. This is, oh, that's a nice homage to the Wonder Woman cover. This is Trinity, daughter of Wonder Woman number 6, written by Tom King, art and cover by Belen Ortega. The final corgi has been located, and Trinity follows it to the events right before Steve Trevor's death. As the Sovereign looms, Trinity races to set the timeline right and spend precious moments with her father. Could their time together in the past hold the key to bringing Steve back? Don't miss the young hero's greatest challenge as we conclude this thrilling tale. Supergirl. Lots of things happening with Supergirl. We need to talk about the latest Supergirl because it brought back a bunch of 80s things. So much love for the 80s series in this series. It's been a lot of fun, especially if you were a fan of that particular pre-crisis era of Supergirl. And I always thought, I did a video on it years ago, that 80s series was really underrated. Supergirl number 7, written by Sophie Campbell, art and cover by Sophie Campbell. It's Thanksgiving in Midvale, and Kara is fretting over her first holiday home in a while. With plenty to be thankful for, Supergirl has nothing to worry about, right? Wrong. In an attempt to pass things up with her father, Lena has invited Lex Luthor and his girlfriend Mercy home for the holidays. What machinations could LexCorp have for the sleepy little town? Find out as heroes and villains sit down to break bread and perhaps bones. That sounds like shenanigans. So what do we have here? Nothing good for Superman, clearly. Nothing good for Superman. Oh, that's horrific. That's horrific in the best way. His tongue and his eyes. This is Unlimited, right? Because Unlimited, yeah, is the Kryptonite one. Superman Unlimited number 7, written by Dan Slott, art by Lucas Mayer. There's a monster in the fields of Kansas, and only John Kent can help save the farm. With Smallville under siege from the supernatural, the new steelworks facility constructed in Superman's hometown may be the solution. Or is it the cause? Join Steel, Lana Lang. Oh, she didn't take his last name. I see how it is. Ma, Pa, and good old Pete Ross as our heroes work to save the heartland from horror. Lana married Steel, just so for people who are not up on where the relationships are currently in the Superman lore. Ozzy Dragoon is saying Mercy and Lex are dating. Yes, they are. What was the super horse's name? Chris, it was Comet. This is the New Gods, and that's just gorgeous. Again, this is just a poster in and of itself. That's gorgeous. It's Orion and Mr. Miracle one. That's really cool. Okay. We have here the New Gods number 12, written by Ram V, art by Evan Kagel. It began with a prophecy. From the moment those enigmatic words were delivered from the source, shockwaves rocked the very foundation of the DCU. History was written, worlds were conquered, and a new light was shone upon the earth. Now in the breathtaking reality-bending finale of Ram V and Evan Kagel's cosmic epic, the prophecy will be fulfilled, or will it? This one's also been interesting. Again, I wouldn't mind if this went for longer, although at least they're getting to maxi series length, which isn't too bad, and they're managing to like tie into things. But I love when things get to have a real kind of ongoing, Oh, I'm sure you're not the only one. Let me hold on. Yeah, see, I see the other names. Justice is saying never liked the new gods. I don't know if it's just me or not, who can see certain names or not. It's a wild day. It's because it's the middle of the day. It's messing with us. Dark side is messing with the internet. This is Aquaman. Obligatory Mara variant cover. Ooh, I like this chilling one. That's fun. Aquaman number 11, written by Jeremy Adams, art and cover by John Timms. Mara and the mystery of Atlantis unravels, even as Andy moves towards her ultimate goal and Arthur contends with the power of the blue. But is this power too much for even a king, all caps, to contend with? An oceanic onslaught unloads on the king of the seven seas and you see that. That's not just me. And the connection between the dark tide and dark side is at last revealed. Cover redacted. We have Justice League Red number 4. Written by Saladin Ahmed, art and cover by Clayton Henry. The confrontation with Red Tornado can wait no longer. Cyborg, Power Girl, Green Lantern, Simon Baz, and Red Canary have taken part in one too many missions where they didn't have all the facts. But Reddy's wound up too. His sacrifices have paid off, and he knows the variable that needs to be eliminated to save Earth from being remade in the image of Apocalypse. But there isn't enough computing power in the galaxy to predict what will happen when JLR goes after Black Adam. Simon doing things. Yes, Red Tornado in 2025. We're doing a Justice League Red thing. There's going to be a bunch of Justice Leagues. They announced a couple at Comic-Con as well. I didn't get the chance to cover a bunch of the things. Like Nicole Maines is going to be doing one. There's a bunch of stuff going on. This is the Cheshire and Cheetah Rob the Justice League number 4. Written by Greg Rucka, art and cover by Nicholas Scott. Ooh, succinct. Look at this. Cheshire and Cheetah have a secret plan to rob the Justice League. And oh, rats, we almost gave it away. This is just like, do you want to read this? You do or you don't. Hi, Ollie and Hal together. Always worried about that when that happens. Kyle. Green Lantern number 29, written by Jeremy Adams, art by Carmine Di Giandomenico. Hal Jordan is off to Star City to check on his good friend Oliver Queen when things go sideways and the boys find themselves a bit of a problem that can only lead to serious, hard traveling solutions. For those who are new here, they may not know about my feelings about hard traveling heroes, but you know, it won't be canon unless Ollie calls Hal a Nazi at some point and punches him in the face. If that doesn't happen, then they're not hard traveling. So oh, this is Green Lantern Corps. Number 10, written by Morgan Hampton. So now they transitioned off to Morgan Hampton writing it alone. Cool. Art and cover by Fernando Pissarin and Eau Claire Albert. In the aftermath of the Starbreaker supremacy, Oa shines brighter than ever as home to the entire emotional spectrum, spoilers, but the shared planet, a patchwork of Lantern territories, is rife with conflict as everyone adjusts to the new status quo. The newest Lanterns, including Kelly, Vexaru, Aya, and Narf, go through Kilowog's core academy while veteran teams search for the escaped science cell prisoners. Expect the shocking return of a few legendary faces. Well, the more Lanterns, the better. Always fun. And yes, see, Aya is going to get to do a bunch of stuff. They brought in Aya and they're going to use Aya. All right, so here we have JSA number 13, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Gavin Guidry. The first days of the JSA are explored as we see the formation of the world's first super team. JSA Year 1 starts here. They're doing another Year 1 thing for the JSA. I'm on the fence about how I'm feeling about this JSA run at the moment. Perhaps we'll elaborate later on. But of course, always reading the JSA for me. Hey, it's Crimson. It's the Crimson Archer. Oh, this one just looks cute. Wee. Green Arrow number 30, written by Chris Condon, art by Montos. It's all come down to this. Green Arrow faces off against the Crimson Archer in a high-stakes rooftop duel for the soul of Star City. So now I know that this is where it's going to be ending, so we can do a recap of the reintroduction of the Crimson Archer. And also, when I did the video on the Crimson Archer and then the Rainbow Archer, what's really funny is I made a joke that was like, who is he driven to archery today? And the truth is I had several more characters that I could have followed up on it with. So, we'll see. Maybe there'll be even more of the archers to be discussed. What do we have here? We have boots that look really textured, and it's freaking me out. Adventures of Superman, Book of L #3. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art cover by Scott Godelsky. Brainiac returns in a terrifying new form. When Superman's oldest foe discovers the hero's return, Brainiac sends his post-human army, the Summermen, to lay siege to the ancient fortress of Solitude. When Ronan Kent learns of Brainiac's role in the subjugation of Earth, can he realize his potential and become the Superman of the future, or will the two Supermen die together? The search for the scattered House of L begins here. I see just people are just naming random archers that could potentially exist in the chat. Do you like the idea of the velvet archer? Just shoots velvet arrows. We have kaiju. Let them fight. What issue are we up to with this? Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2, #5, written by Brian Buccellato, and then we have art and cover by Kristen Duce. We have King Ghidorah and Rodan join the fight as Godzilla settles an old score with Superman. Foes must unite if the Titan threat is to be overcome. As the battle rages on, Lee Shaw nears the completion of his plans to create his own Titan army. This is Gotham Academy Things. Gotham Academy, first year #2, written by Brendan Fletcher, Carl Kerschel, and Becky Cloonan. We have art by Marco Ferrari. Life at school is both terrible, pissing off the football team is never a good idea, and wonderful. Almost kissing a cute boy is almost perfect. But Olive Silverlock will never be truly happy until she knows her mom is safe. Visiting her in Arkham is supposed to be reassuring, but when Olive meets the man behind the Scarecrow's mask, will her serenity be torn away too? Corduroy Archer. Ooh, I like Azure Archer. That's nice. I like the alliteration. That's just an adorable Mahuncle cover right there. DC's I Saw Mahuncle Kissing Santa Claus #1. Written by Ashley Allen, Nathan Kayanan, Steve Orlando, Jatsia Axelrod, Dave Baker, Marley Halpern Glasner, Sebastian Bader, and Ash Padilla. We have so many people. Art by Bruno Abdiaz, Michael Shelfer, Riley Rossmo, Hannah Templar, Nicole Gu, and Anthony Marquez. The holidays, a time for joy and togetherness, also sadness and darkness, presents and carols. They didn't put that, that's just true. And emotions, drama and chaos galore. Join our merry gang of heroes and villains as they navigate the highs and lows of holiday romance. Supergirl kicks off her winter vacation with a blind date. Galaxy tries and fails to clear her superheroing schedule to spend Hanukkah with her sweetheart, and so much more. Warm up your winter with this collection of it's November, of heartwarming and heart-racing tales coming to shelves this holiday season. Are you ready for holiday romance? Yeah, I know. That's how I feel, Mark. Like, wow, the Christmas season is starting already. Here it is. This is the Static and Batman Beyond team up. I posted about this one. Yeah, this was the one cover that wasn't there when I was looking at it. So we have Batman / Static Beyond #1, written by Evan Narcisse. Then we have art and cover by Nicholas Draper Ivey. In the not-so-distant future, young hero Terry McGinnis patrols the streets of Neo-Gotham as Batman Beyond, while Virgil Hawkins, aka Static, forges a new technological revolution in Dakota City with the introduction of the Q-Wave energy grid. Together, alongside the Justice League Beyond, the heroes prepare for the Earth's induction into the interplanetary alliance known as the Cooperative. Everything seems to be going smoothly until a new villain arrives on the scene and puts everything at risk. At the center of all the mayhem is the unlikely duo, it's not that unlikely, they've teamed up before, of Static and Batman Beyond, as they must work together to save the world before it's too late. I know some people were worried that this was going to be Tim from that blip in the DCU when Tim was Batman Beyond, but no, we got Terry. It's Terry Batman Beyond. Mind the Gap is saying, fans need to enjoy Static when he is used because it's never a guarantee he's sticking around. It's sad, but true. I know, right? Wolf is saying Static getting 2 appearances in the same month. I know, what a time to be alive. So this is the Gotham by Gaslight, right? Yes, it is. This is Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice, number 5, written by Andy Diggle, art cover by Leandro Fernandez. It's a race against time as the League for Justice unravels Zod's sinister world-ending plans. But as the death of all humanity approaches, our heroes will need more help. Will the warrior women of the lost Amazon civilization aid them in their time of need, or is all hope lost? Oh yeah, this is the mech one, whose name always escapes me until I see it. And I'm like, oh right. I love all of these covers though so much. Immortal Legend Batman, number 4. I'll remember it after it's all done. Written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom, art by Erica Durso and Dan Mora. The immortal legend Batman knows how to stop a shadow attack, but what is he to do when the very soil beneath his feet poses a threat? Deep within the jungle of a seemingly uninhabited planet lies a poisonous threat, ready to take down the immortal legend Batman. Oh yeah, this is a Black Label one, isn't it? Did they make this one Black Label or not? This is the team up with Batman, Question, and Green Arrow. Batman / Green Arrow / The Question, Arcadia, number 1, written by Gabriel Hardman, art and cover by Gabriel Hardman. From the decaying husk harsh of Hub City, Vic Sage, The Question, goes deep undercover on the trail of a human trafficking operation in the frozen Arctic. Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, pushed out of his company, C-Suite, must get his crumbling life back together. But what is Queen Industries' involvement with a mysterious project dubbed Arcadia? Spurred on by The Question, Green Arrow joins the hunt for answers, but one obstacle stands in the way of their investigation: the Batman. Writer / artist Gabriel Hardman comes to DC Black Label, figured, with a hard-boiled modern twist on the DC social thrillers of the 1980s. Updating this, late 1970s, 1980s, if they want to get technical, but when they really started getting into it. Updating this opinionated trio of lone, especially if we're talking about Ollie. Updating this opinionated trio of lone wolf vigilantes for the era of open class warfare and ecological collapse. You see, this is the energy that should be happening with the hard traveling heroes up above. It's like, what fun they had. Like, do you remember those issues? Ollie pretended to be native. He painted himself. Why does nobody remember this? Joker / Harley Malicious Intent number 2, written by Cami Garcia, art by Miko Suyan and Jason Bedower. Harley Quinn has returned to Gotham to hunt a serial killer, but without the support of Lieutenant Jim Gordon, she is forced to work in the shadows. Is the Joker committing these murders himself or pulling the strings from Arkham and causing terror by proxy? Harley is not the only woman trying to figure it out, but is she willing to ally with a rock star and a cat burglar to get justice? Birds of Prey team up things. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Justice is saying Absolute Green Arrow is Arrow. Yeah, when they announced Absolute Green Arrow and they gave the premise, my mind did jump to regular Green Arrow, because it was like, he is going to be a billionaire who takes on billionaires. I was like, so like regular Green Arrow. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. This is such a throwback cover. What never happened to the Man of Tomorrow. I really liked the first issue of this. I know it's not for everyone, especially not everyone can get behind the art style, but I thought this was a really fun Superman story, at least for the first issue. This is Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum number 4. Written by W. Maxwell Prince, art cover by Martin Morazzo. Superman finds himself somewhere over the rainbow in this landmark issue featuring the debut of a brand new canon-changing, sure to be essential for all-time character. At the very least, he's awfully cute. What never happened to the Man of Tomorrow? The answer awaits in a form-bending, head-spinning, mixed-up, note the spelling, melee of mites, men, mites, and multicolored meteoroids. It's a major milestone for our magnificent medium with 2 added dimensions for extra support, Mr. Mixus-Pitlick. They didn't put that there. It's just they're hinting really, really hard. Also, the one cover. Common Sense, thank you very much. How do you feel about Jeff Lemire's new Kid Eternity and her origin story? So all iterations of Kid Eternity are different characters with the name Kid. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things to ponder, a lot of things I'm thinking about with everything that's going on there. a lot of things that bear discussing, but I have a whole list of things that I need to get to. And if I add to it, I don't know if I'll end up making anything. There's just so much. Ooh, that's pretty. This is the sequel to the first night. Second night. Yep, Second Night. The Batman, Second Night, number 2. Written by Dan Jurgens, art cover by Mike Perkins. The Scarecrow emerges in Gotham City, and fear consumes the streets, as it should. And now that he has a murderous hangman to do his bidding, and if somebody gets hanged, they better use the proper grammar and say they got hanged, not hung. You hung up your clothes, you hanged a man. The stage is set for Scarecrow's next grand act, with terror and psychosis at a fever pitch across Gotham. The Batman struggles to tame the city without destroying his personal life as Bruce Wayne, leading him to make a fateful decision about his relationship with Julie Madison. We know that relationship is doomed. That relationship is sadly not going anywhere. Facsimile, oh my gosh. Oh, wow, very fortuitous. Actually, the thing I'm editing right now is about this crossover. That's crazy. Yeah, this is a reprint of Justice League number 21. This issue is really, really significant. I think it's really cool that they're reprinting it as they lead up to a crisis. This is why I'm talking about it, because this is their first crisis. And this is also where they bring the JSA back into canon, as the cover says, after 12 years. And it's by one of the great architects of the Golden and the Silver Age, Gardner Fox. Like, this issue is important. And I hope they reprint 22 too, because that's the follow-up, Crisis on Earth 2. I hope they do that next month. Yeah. It's a really good issue. I'm really excited to be talking about it, actually. Oh, this is a solid one too. We've talked about this one too. 47. This is where they retell Batman's origin and they add more details to it. And we have Mad Magazine. I'm in a really big historical, like, nerdy kind of mood as of late. There's another Golden Age retrospective that I've been working on. I don't know. I just feel like it's such a joy to be able to reach back and access and talk about all these things. So I can tell you, because it's come up now, that I like, my goal is, I'm not going to say I'm going to do it, because you know what happens when I say that. The goal is to work through all the crises leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, because those crises are really important and they all really shape the DC universe in a significant way. And they really kind of set the stage for the fact that the way that Crisis plays out doesn't come out of nowhere. And there's lots of odes and homages to those past crises. And the first one it's really important and solid and starts seeding so many things. Anyway, I'm excited to talk about it. This is the Knights one, right? Yeah, Court, Children of the Round Table number 3, written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Daniel De Nicuolo. Just because a sword is telling you not to surrender to hostile forces doesn't mean it knows what it's talking about. The Children of the Round Table are in trouble. They've snuck out of their homes, which isn't great, but they also find themselves surrounded by enemies and hopelessly outnumbered. These friends are destined to be heroes, but is destiny about to be cut short? Teen Titans Go, number 9, written by Shawley Fish, art and cover by Eric Owen. The Titans love Jump City, and Jump City loves the Titans, except for all the destruction and the antics. Did we mention the constant destruction? So when Robin calls for a strike, he's sure the city will miss their favorite heroes, or will they? Will they? Maybe if the Teen Titans turn to evil, they'll get noticed. And we have a kid's little graphic novel thing, it looks like here. Yeah, Supergirl's Super Heroes, Crypto's Big Break. Oh, where are they writing for the kids? Art and writing by Rob Justice. Crypto the Superdog is known for getting into all sorts of trouble, but while waiting for Supergirl to finish some important business at the Watchtower, he accidentally sends the Justice League superhero costumes hurtling through space. He just couldn't avoid the allure of some super sweaty super socks, could he? Down on Earth, a group of unsuspecting zoo animals are about to get hold of the Justice League's costumes, and thanks to some cosmic rays, their superpowers too. Fantastic Four is going to sue. Now Supergirl and Crypto must wrangle the Justice League's laundry from the Super Heroes. Can they beat the fastest sloth on Earth, a wonder seal, the bat rhino, and a super lion while keeping Crypto from getting caught by an ambitious zookeeper? That does sound cute. Sounds like something the kids would like. We're on to the second trade at this point. Yeah, we are. Abomination. I just got the first trade. It's somewhere. It's around. The trade for the new history of the DC universe, or people who were trade waiting on that. There it is. 208 pages of essentially index. I'm so excited. I'm not even joking. Bad Moon Rising, a trade that I'm going to have because it has the shade in it. And I already have the individual issues that the shade is in, but I'll get both of them just as backup because I'm always paranoid that my floppy something is going to happen to them. But I am obligated to collect all appearances with the shade, my beloved. So this is going to end up in my home. Poison Ivy Volume 6. Oof. Nightwing Volume 2, Death Traps. Was this the one where the solicit told what the next month's was, or was that the next issue? I think it's the next one. Oh, this is the Rise of the Power Company trade. I feel like this came out a lot. I feel like this came out a while ago, but this trade is late. Let's see. Batman the Brave and the Bold, Myths and Mysteries. Yeah, some of these are finally seeing the light of day after a while. Here we are. Here are some of the compacts that are coming out. So this is The Woman of Tomorrow as a compact. I'm sure some people would appreciate picking that up if they haven't read it. And again, because you get them all nice and like a uniform size, it's a decent price. DC Finest also is releasing a bunch too. The Doom Patrol, the death of the Doom Patrol. I just feel like I need all the DC Finest, so I am incredibly biased when it comes to collections of older things. Like, yeah, all of them. This is Batman White Knight Absolute Edition. $100. Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison Absolute Edition. Justice League Dark, the New 52 Compendium. Ooh, are we crushing all of it into compendium size? They are. Ooh, that's nice. So this is how many pages? Ooh, wow. 1,624 pages for $60 in compendium format. I love compendium format, so I'm here for this. I liked Justice League Dark personally. So yeah, the concept is working. ChemDog is talking about the compacts. It is. People are enjoying them. Whenever I go to the bookstore, I see people picking them up. I know it's just entirely anecdotal, but it's consistent. There hasn't been a time that I've gone to the section and someone isn't picking them up, and they're younger people. So it's really reaching out to those new demographics. Same with, I was watching a random video about like convenience and all those, like the convenience being bad for you and stuff. And in it, the person just randomly started talking about Absolute Superman. And I thought that was absolutely amazing. There was a pun there and it was unintentional. I was like, look at that. Like, it's really reaching out to different people. And I think that's great. That's so exciting. Green Lantern Compendium 1 Rebirth. I already have all these. I missed the Compendium train release. The Silver Age. They're reprinting the World's Finest Silver Age, huh? The Omnibus 2026 edition. This is the Batman Adventures Mad Love 2026 edition. Batman R.I.P. 2026 edition. Yes, I have the whatever year edition this originally came out in. Oh, is this a compendium or an omnibus? Ooh, the Green Lantern by Robert Venditti Omnibus Volume 2. They reprinted the Nail. Okay, so the Nail is wild. Is this a 2026 edition of the Nail? Okay, they say complete. Does that mean that you get both of them, the Nail and like the sequel, or are we just getting the Nail? We're just getting JSA, the Nail. Okay, this is wild and has one of my favorite Jimmy Olsen things in it. Maybe it's time to talk about the Nail. This story is off the chain. There is so many moments. I enjoy the Nail. I'm not sure for the right reasons, but I genuinely enjoy the Nail and think it's really entertaining. We have Superman, the New Krypton Saga is getting an omnibus. A lot of people, I'm one of the people who enjoyed the New Krypton Saga, even though they just kind of were like, okay, now it's done, put it over there. But some really interesting things happened during the New Krypton Saga. Here we have Absolute Blackest Night 2026 edition. Wonder Woman, the Silver Age Volume 3 omnibus is getting, oh, we're just getting it. Hey, nice. Young Justice Omnibus Volume 2, it's here. It's been a while since they released the first one, so hey. And you know what's happening allegedly next week, unless something goes wrong? It's the Sandman Mystery Theater Compendium 2. I've been waiting. I'm so hyped for that. Literal years. And that's the end. We did it. We made it. We made it to the end. We've come to the end. So yes, that's what we're looking at for November. What are your thoughts? What are you excited for? Are you down for the crossovers that are coming? Are you here for the D.C. K.O? What are you interested in or not interested in? I would love to hear. That's there's a JSA omnibus open back there for reasons. So let me see what all of you are saying. Oh, Coffee is saying, I'm really excited. I'm saying I'm hyped. Chem Dog is rhyming saying D.C.K.O. Oh no. It's good. There's just, I don't know. I've been really I'm always enjoying comics, but I've been really enjoying them as of late. I think it's because there's so much new blood in terms of like people who I'm seeing who are getting interested in it for the first time. I think is a lot of fun. That's always exciting when you're seeing people come into a hobby and be excited about it. And I've this is just personal experience talking, and like obviously there's been bad experiences too, but I've always found comics to be a very welcoming and nerdy hobby, just in terms of people being excited that you're excited to talk to them about like this really niche thing, which is always fun. Common Sense, thank you very much, is saying, can you talk about Chris Kent and Thara Akbar from New Krypton? It would be fun to cover some New Krypton things. I think I'm going to skirt into New Krypton a teeny tiny little bit just because I'm planning to talk about the Shade's daughter, because what happened with the Shade and the Flash, the fact that they ignored the existence of his daughter kind of bothered me a little bit based on some of the subject matter that was happening inside of specifically 23, not the special, because the Bad Moon Rising special was not written by Cy Spurrier, who's writing the main Flash books. That was written by Alex Paknadel, and so that one had a very different kind of vibe and tone than the main series issue, and so you got kind of two very different energies out of it. And so that was just something that I've been thinking about, and then it made me think that not a lot of people know about the Shade's vampire daughter, and it might be fun to talk about her a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, what are you all enjoying? Because I was I was scrolling, but it's not as fun to make a scrolling gesture. It's like a nice Rolodex flipping gesture through like image solicits as well. There's a bunch of stuff coming out there. There's a whole bunch of Mad Cave things. Dynamite's catching up with its catalog. There's just a whole bunch of really cool things. Then of course there's all of the Titan stuff. Titan's collecting a bunch of things into omnibus format, not just the Conan stuff, the Solomon Kane. They're doing a bunch of the Blade Runner things. There's so much, like just a plethora right now of things. And a bunch of the Ghost Machine things are really coming along. I have the Hyde Street Sisterhood spinoff over there. Everything's too far. It's never Kondasha just got added to Global Comics. So it's just like there is so much. There's a lot of fun things going on. Let's see. Oh, Jack Maudib is saying like Mortal Thor has been real good. I admittedly am not reading as much Marvel at the moment. I mean, unless it's the Fantastic Four, because they're my favorite team. So always the Fantastic Four is with me. But just in general, it just has happened. I hurt my wrist. That's why I keep like thinking with it. Like it's just been a bit less as of late, but that cycles and it changes. It's neither here nor there. Just at the moment, there's a lot of exciting things. I feel more exciting things happening at the other companies, and they just seem to be pushing in a different way and embracing some different things, which I think is a lot of fun. Yeah, Balls Monkey saying Mad Cave just dropped a dope new Speed Racer comic. Yeah, I'm supposed to be part of the campaign for that, but I was too busy. But it is really cool. I'm hopefully going to be able to hop on to the Phantom one, because I'm very excited for the Phantom, because the return of Golden Age things is always right up my alley. That's just what it's especially where my headspace is right now. So it's been a lot of fun. I was going through some old Miss America things lately. Just a whole bunch of, and of course, because Captain Comic came back, like a whole bunch of Captain Comic things, just, all over the place. And then I sit down, center, focus, and start working on a crisis video for whatever reason. I'm really enjoying editing that though, and it's so exciting to see the facsimile at the same time. I feel like just like right now in terms of like how like historically focused DC is, I'm like we're on the same wavelength at the moment because the history, the depth and breadth of it and appreciation of it. Let's see. Oh, nice. You're drawing some of the covers for Fandom. That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait to see them. I haven't seen a lot of the promo stuff yet, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I liked Rare Flavors too. You know, like because like the Eisners happened, they did happen. They announced all of like the winners. And I was just going through. I always like to go through and see what actually picks up. And now, whenever I talk about Absolute Wonder Woman, I'm gonna have to put like Eisner winning. Like when you have like an Oscar winner, like Academy Award winning, and you just gotta put it and the slow music and the fade and all that kind of stuff because the goal is to catch up with just talking, not necessarily about issue by issue, but just some of the things, especially some of the things that people are finding more interesting in the Absolute Universe. And then also, since we seem to be doing some wrapping up of certain arcs in the Ultimate Marvel verse, like that'll be interesting to keep tabs on as well. Yeah, I've heard like lots of people are liking Captain Planet, Jon Stewart. Again, it's like that's the nice thing about right now is that there are lots of choices. There's a lot of interesting things to check out. And some of the things might be flying below the radar, like, you know, with some of these Bad Idea comics, which again, the company name. Because what do I have it in front of me? I do. Hold on. Like I said, everything is over here. Like I have my Planet Death over here as well, which has a cardstock cover, which I prefer. I feel less like everything's going to go wrong with that. This one's also a really gorgeous book. As I open to the cussing page and YouTube like hones in, like, what? Demonetized? Here it is. Check that out. Look at the sprawl there. I'm still reading Free Planet as well. There's just a bunch of stuff. There. Check it out. Reflecting. I like to be able to show, you know, the interiors when I can. I did the one review as a short, and I'm kind of thinking of trying to do that more with things, just because sometimes things are just a little bite-sized. And I listened to the people, for those of you who watch my shorts, who said that I had Cloverfield cam. And well, actually I didn't, but my husband ended up, he sent me a phone holder because he was away at the time. And then I just got a package that was just a phone holder. It was just like, listen, I was reading the comments and I agree with the shaky cam, but I'm not going to say it to your face. So here's a camera holder. But it's much appreciated. And it's made a big difference in terms of how I can hold things, which has been great. Let's see. Oh, ChemDog is saying I still prefer newsprint in terms of paper quality. Why? What about it? What about the newsprint do you prefer? I see you're all ranking the Absolute books. You see, but the fact that you're doing that proves that the interest is there. That's one of the things is that sometimes people are like, oh no, people are like, they're competing. I'm like, but that's good because it means that there's interest. It means that people care enough about the line to be discussing where they should rank. And that kind of thing is always a good thing because if people aren't interested, that's death. That's the true death, you know, just apathy, people not caring. That's what you don't want more than anything. So how DJ is saying the shaky cam gave it a found footage feel. I can always smack the thing sometimes if we want to bring that back. Just, you know, just boom. And then we'll get it back. So I just wanted to pop on briefly during my break, which is which is indeed nearing its end. And then I'll be back to talk about, we'll do more of just, you know, hangouts, those kind of things. I don't know what time they'll be. I'm trying to set something up with Amanda. So hopefully the next time you see me, I'll have Amanda with me. And now you know, for those who watched to the end, that there's a crisis video coming your way and some other things, you know, hot off the presses, 1963. But Yeah. So thanks so much for taking some time out of your day, night, whatever it was, to come and hang out. It's always a good time. It's always cool to see what is coming down the pipeline. I'm looking forward to getting more videos your way in whatever form they come. And yeah, as always, I am awkward ending these things. So I'm just going to say bye bye.